Hi, Pastor Fred here. I'm excited about this. We're going to talk about Holy Week, which begins this week. Now, in observing the days of Holy Week and their meaning, we see new beginnings come from endings. Many people can draw a parable of their own lives and faith journey from observing Holy Week. And the services of Holy Week have become very powerful. They are a proclamation of the transforming power of the gospel and God at work in the lives of people. The entire week between Palm Sunday, which starts this Sunday, and Holy Easter, which is the following Sunday, is included in Holy Week. However, usually today, we only celebrate Palm Sunday, Maundy Thursday, and Good Friday, and of course, Easter. The first one, this Sunday, Palm Sunday, or sometimes called Passion Sunday. This Sunday is also known again as Passion Sunday to commemorate the beginning of Holy Week. And I didn't know this. Did you know the English word passion comes from a Latin word that means to suffer? The same word from which we derive the English word patient. Holy Week begins with the sixth Sunday in Lent. This Sunday observes the triumphal entry of Jesus into Jerusalem that was marked by crowds of people who were in Jerusalem for the Passover, waving the palm branches and proclaiming him as the Messianic King. The Gospels tell us that Jesus rode into the city on a donkey. The irony of his acceptance by the crowds, who would only 5 days later cry for his execution, should be a sobering reminder of the human tendency to want God on our own terms. And how many of us have gone through those same things, where the beginning of the week is really good, and we expect the end of the week to go the same way, but what happens? Oops, we hit a major roadblock. Our crucifixion could be being fired, losing a job, divorce, or whatever. Again, traditionally, worshipers enact the entry of Jesus into Jerusalem by waving the palm branches and singing songs of celebration. The next day we want to observe is Thursday. So we've gone from Sunday now to Thursday. Sometimes Thursday is called Maundy Thursday or Holy Thursday. Since Sunday, remember, Jesus and his disciples, they were so popular. Remember, the crowds were friendly, the future was looking bright, but on Thursday, there was an ominous tone in the murmuring of the Pharisees who were threatened by the new future Jesus proclaimed. Now, there are a variety of events happening on Maundy Thursday before Jesus was arrested that are commemorated in various ways in service of worship today. There are actually 5 events. First, the last meal together, which was probably called a Passover meal. We called it the Eucharist or communion, and which is celebrated today. Now, I grew up calling this the Lord's Supper. Secondly, Jesus washing the disciples' feet as a sign of servanthood. Third, the betrayal by Judas. And this happened actually during the supper time. Fourth, Jesus praying in Gethsemane, the garden, while the disciples fell asleep. 5, it was later that night after the meal, as Jesus and his disciples were praying in the garden of Gethsemane, that Jesus was arrested and taken to the house of Caiaphas, the high priest, and on Friday he would die. The next day of Holy Week we celebrate is Good Friday, or again, Holy Friday. This one is maybe the least known, but actually is one of my favorite ones. And it is called Good Friday is the Tenebrae service. And it stands for, and is Latin for shadows or darkness. More specifically, however, it is used of the service of darkness or service of shadows, usually held on the evening of Good Friday. Again, there are varieties of this service, but it is usually characterized by a series of scripture readings and meditation done in stages And this is what's exciting. While the reading of the scripture and the meditation is going on, the lights are being extinguished and the sheets are actually put over all of the symbols and in the church, all of it. Everything is darkened completely. Now, the darkness indicates and signifies Jesus' death and of hopelessness in the world without God. The service ends in complete darkness now, and the minister will take one final candle that's not extinguished and walk down the aisles, leading us out behind him, and this is the Christ candle. And it is carried out of the sanctuary, symbolizing the death of Jesus. And after everyone is out, the service concludes with a loud noise, and this is symbolizing the closing of Jesus' tomb. And we exit in silence. Next is Holy Saturday. It is traditionally a day of quiet meditation as Christians contemplate the darkness of a world without a future and without hope apart from God and His grace. It is also a time to remember family and the faithful who have died. In my church, we actually place Easter lilies in the sanctuary to honor the death of your parents or your loved ones. Another family tradition that I participate in is to visit their gravesite and replace new flowers on there. Now, you're ready for the big event. What is Easter Sunday? Easter is the most important Christian holiday, surpassing even Christmas. As the celebration of the day Jesus rose from the dead, Easter symbolizes forgiveness, rebirth, and God's saving power. Christians view the day as a victory over sin, death, and all destructive forces in people's lives. I hope you've enjoyed this. And again, there was a lot of things you probably never heard about as far as Holy Week. Go back over it, look at it again, and say, oh, now I know what Palm Sunday is about. Oh, now I know about Maundy Thursday and how significant it is and how we participate in those traditions today. And you hear about the Tenebrae service on Friday, which you've never probably heard about, which is so interesting. It's one of my favorites. And then, of course, celebrating Easter. I'm Pastor Fred, again, and I want to tell you, Happy Easter, and again, Holy Week, and start praying about and looking for a church to attend, either this Sunday and especially for Easter, and bring all your family. Have a great day. God bless you from all of us at Startbupe. Bye-bye.